Welcome to my homestead. Today we're walking around our garden beds, our flower beds, as well as our fruit trees because we've got weeds like these ones right here that are starting to overtake our gardens, and we want our fruit trees, flowers, and herbs to thrive. Did you know common weeds around your garden beds and around your property a lot of times are edible and superfoods? I'm gonna introduce you to 3 common weeds around your property that you can eat and that you might be able to survive the apocalypse on, and that are superfoods too. Now, before you eat any of these wild weeds, make sure you consult a professional first. This is not nutrition advice. You need to do your own research. You are liable for whatever you eat. So I'm not telling you to eat these things. Use a plant identification app. I'm using Plant ID. That's my favorite plant identification app that's free. And also go seek out a wild foraging expert before consuming any of these plants. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's get to our first weed that you can consume for a survival situation. All right, so we're in our flower bed right here. We planted tulips, irises, lilies, and daffodils. The tulips and daffodils are starting to die. Pretty soon the lilies are gonna be popping up, so I can see all the lilies popping up. Another flower that's been popping up, and you'll see this a lot, it's all over North America, is dandelion. So dandelion is amazing. During COVID, I stopped eating kale and spinach so we didn't have to pay for it, and I started eating dandelion salads like every single day. You'll see it right here. I'm gonna pull this one out of the ground. I didn't do the best job pulling the roots out, but you see it's kind of got this reddish color. The roots are edible, and so are the greens, and so are the flowers. So this is a fully edible plant right here. The leaves are kind of jagged edged, you know, kind of almost like a kale a little bit, but a little bit different, a little more spiky, and less round like spinach. So lots of vitamins and minerals in this. Makes a great salad. Wash it really well. Eat the roots, eat the leaves, eat the flowers. All right, so we call this one right here goosefoot. It's also called pigweed, wild spinach, or lamb quarters. Same thing as the dandelion. You can eat this whole thing, roots, leaves, everything. So fully edible. You can see we got a ton of it right here. So I'm gonna need to pull all this out because we just planted some irises and some lilies over here. So these are all gonna need to come out so that they're shading the other flowers.
Yes.
All right, so right here, we're in another flower garden. We got lilies, irises. Some of the irises are popping up right now. And in here, we've got clovers. We have both white and red clover. The red clover looks more kind of purple, but they call it red clover anyways. Red clover, you can eat both the flowers and the leaves. I'll have to look up if you can eat the roots. Not 100% sure. I wouldn't be surprised. The red clover flowers are going to taste a little bit better than the white clover flowers. However, both are edible, and you're going to find them all over North America. And so I'm going to pull one out right here. So it's got this kind of clover look to them. Some of these clovers have little white stripes on them, like this guy right here. Okay, but clover, pretty easy to find. We got a bunch in here. I'm going to have to weed this. And once again, that's just another fully edible plant. All right, you guys, so those are 3 wild weeds that you can weed from your garden today and start consuming. Once again, seek a professional. I'm not a professional. I'm not a health practitioner. I'm not a doctor, any of that kind of stuff. I'm not a certified nutritionist, but you can do your own research. Look up dandelions, look up clover, look up goosefoot. Look at those 3 varietals of plants and do your own research to see if they are edible. Save your flowers as well as your garden and fruit trees from getting attacked by weeds. Some old buddies right here. I can also feed these weeds to our animals too. So just about everything is recyclable here on the farm. So, you know, make sure you put your resources that God has given you to use. Yeah, she likes the goosefoot. Now comment down below if there's some other weeds that you want to learn about, or you know, if there's some other plants that you maybe consume that come out of your garden. I would love to hear what other plants you guys are eating that, you know, normally are just weeds in your garden. Now there's a lot of other types of weeds out there that are partially consumable. I'm going to show some flowers that you can eat to an extent and make a great garnish on a dish. Plus I'll flash some other weeds as well. It can be used medicinally or can be consumed in small doses, but I mainly wanted to focus on the plants that have the highest nutritional yield and that you can eat the most of. And so those are the 3 that I find not only on my property, but other properties that can be consumed in total. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you again soon. God bless.